how to sell your digital marketing services in 2025 as a agency owner or as a freelancer. Now this video is going to be quite interesting. I have a lot of value to deliver. So make sure you take down things on a notebook if possible. If not, just have a strong memory. Yeah. Before we even get into the actual points, I want to make one thing clear. Anytime you go into any presentation or a sales call, don't go with the intention of hoping this would go better, hoping you need luck for this. No, go there with the intention to raise eyebrows. Be confident about it. Do not stress. It's going to go your way. One of the most important things to do when you get on a sales call with any client as a digital marketing agency or as a freelancer is to do a deep dive into the client before you get on the call. Because during the call, you will prospect them and ask them questions. You need to make sure that your research backs up these questions and validates these questions. So make sure you do a deep research and know your client. That's the most important thing and the first thing that I want to talk about. Second thing, now that you're actually on the call, how do you go about the sales call? How do you go from them not knowing who you are to them actually wanting to work with you and transferring the money to your account? Well, let me give you a structure for that. First, you gel with the client. You don't just directly get into business. You ask them questions. You ask them where they are from. You're like, haha, yes, I was there too last week. Exactly. This sounds weird, but it works. When you're with the client, laughing along with them, having a smiling face, being confident, being straight, looking into the camera, they like it. It resonates with them. Once the gelling part is done, now you take a conscious decision to be in charge of the call. Again, this entire second point is about the sales call. Number one, you gel with them. Number two, you take a conscious decision to be in charge of the call. Number three, once the decision has been made, now you give them a structure of how the call is about to go. So you tell them, hey, hey Jack, I'll ask you a bunch of questions to get to know you better, what I've been doing over the years and what kind of solutions I can offer to you. And if these two things align, we could maybe work together. So now that you've given them a structure, they feel good about it. They know exactly where their time is going and they don't feel that the time is wasted. Once the structure is given, now let's actually get into the structure. Let's ask them questions. Prospect the client. Ask them why they got on the call. What are the expectations after the call ends working with me? Each agency might have different kinds of questions, or a freelancer might have different kinds of questions. For example, I ask them about the content they're working on because I don't provide content services. I provide only ad campaign, SEO, marketing services. So I need to make sure that I depend on a good content agency that's already working with them, or if they have an in-house content team. So these are certain questions I ask them to get to know them. You can ask them your own questions. Once these questions are done, now make sure everything that follows after that is slightly aligned with that. So it feels natural. Now you move on to an elevator pitch. You talk to them about what you have done over the years, what kind of progress you have made, how you have helped your client, and then eventually offer a solution specific to them and hopefully it will close into a deal, right? No. Once you offer them your solutions, you don't stop at that. You see, if you read a lot of books, this is much easier. I read a lot of books. I can say anything I want, anywhere I want. I bring in a lot of analogies to impress them. I say things like, if you want to sell an ice cream, no matter how many sprinkles you add on top of it, it will only sell because the product itself is good. People buy it for the ice cream, not for the add-ons. Marketing is similar. You might market the product as much as you want, but people at the end of the day buy the product for the product, and your product is good. That is why I want to work with you. So let's run over quickly just to make sure we don't miss anything. Number one, raise eyebrows. Number two, deep dive research into your client before you get on the call. Number three, during the sales call, be confident. Take a conscious decision to take in charge of the call. Make sure that you gel with the client before you do that. Then during the presentation, you give them a structure of how the call is about to go. And after that is done, it's honestly free will. It depends on the situation, the client, the agency. According to that, make sure you're confident, just sweet. Again, at the end of the day, it's just a sales call, right? You're helping them. It's not about you making money. It's about you helping them make money. So they need you more than you need them. So just be confident about that, and that's how you close a call on a sales call. Now, during the sales call, there is one important thing that differentiates between good and bad agencies is that you need to have a really sexy presentation. Make sure your presentation where you talk about the company's brand audit, competitor audit, industry audit, what services you provide, weekly breakdown of services that you do. These things matter a lot during the sales call. So make sure you present all of this during the elevator pitch. Because when they see this presentation, that's when they'll know, okay, this guy has done his research, he's taking us seriously, and I can trust him. So during the sales call, don't just follow the sales structure I gave you, but bring your own presentation into the call and overcome the fear of failing by having a really good presentation and show the client that, hey, you're serious about this. After the sales call is done, now what are the other bunch of things you can focus on? This is something so many agencies don't do, and I do not understand why. And this is also something that no one talks about, is having a premium dashboard for reporting. Most, if not all of my clients, when I talk to them about how they get their ad campaigns data, they tell me they get it in different forms: Google Sheet, WhatsApp, email, calls. And they're really confused about it. So many agencies miss out on that. Make sure you offer them a premium dashboard where all the data is collected together and then you can show it to them. Again, this gives them confidence. This gives them the ability to trust you. Cool? So let's break it down again. Raise eyebrows, be confident on the sales call, have a good structure, present your PPT in the call where you do brand audit, competitor audit, industry audit, and show them why they need to work with you and how it would benefit them. Premium data presentation, and do a lot of research on the client even before you get on the call. Now the next important thing is data emphasizing. optimizing. You just need to emphasize a lot on data. Data is what differentiates a good marketer from a bad marketer. In data, bring in the points such as data reporting, which I already mentioned, have a good dashboard to show them all the data. Data collection, what things you do to keep a track of all the data. So in here, you mentioned A/B testing, you mentioned different creatives, different lead magnets, gender, age, sex that you target, what happens after that, how you collect this data, how you optimize on this data, show them all of this. Go a step further by not just showing them how you will optimize the ads using data and professional dashboards, but how you will also optimize the website for conversion rate optimization using the ad data. So talk data, because data is an indication for future proof. If I was a company and if an agency is offering me the marketing services, I will care a lot about what kind of data they're collecting, what things they're keeping on track of, how are they optimizing things as a result of the data. So make sure that you emphasize on data during the sales call. Now to the next important thing, have realistic timelines, right? Break it down that once they are onboarded with you, let's say they make the payment today, what happens the next hour, the next day, the next week, the next month, the next year. Don't go for a year, that's too long, but at least for 2 to 3 months, that's the first quarter, give them a proper timeline breakdown. What will happen on the first week, the onboarding, second week, data collection, creative design, copy, title, descriptions, week 3 validation and testing, week 4 A/B data collection, week 5 spending the remainder of the ad budget on the A/B testing data. Like show them exactly what will happen if they work with you. So give them a proper timeline breakdown. I hope you learned some interesting things today. If you like what I taught you, make sure to subscribe and share it with your friends.